Russian news agencies report the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant is operating as normal in Ukraine after being hit by shelling. Moscow and Ukraine blame each other for the latest strike at the plant that left 3 radiation sensors damaged. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky described it as Russian nuclear terror that he says warrants more international sanctions.
I spoke today with the President of the European Council, Charles Michel, informed him about the situation on the battlefield, about the threat that Russia created by striking the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. There is no such nation in the world that could feel safe when a terrorist state fires at a nuclear plant. God forbid, if something irreparable happens, and no one will stop the wind that will spread the radioactive contamination. Therefore, a principled response of the international community to these Russian attacks on the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, the largest in Europe, is needed now.
Moscow claims it was Ukraine that hit the site with multiple rocket launches, damaging administrative buildings and an area near a storage facility. Zaporizhzhia is the largest of Ukraine's 4 nuclear power plants, which together provide about half the country's electricity. The plant is of strategic importance to Moscow because it's only about 200 kilometers away from Crimea, which was annexed by Russia in 2014. Meanwhile, the International Atomic Energy Agency has warned of the risk of nuclear disaster, and United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has condemned the attack.
Any attack to a nuclear plant is a suicidal thing, and I hope that those attacks will end. And at the same time, I hope that the IAEA will be able to have access to the plant and to exercise its mandate competencies. I believe that if nuclear weapons will be used, there is probably no UN able to respond anymore. We might all not be here anymore.
Well, more now from our Berlin correspondent, Trent Murray.
Well, I think much of Europe has woken up this Monday in a heightened state of alarm and alert over those incredibly distressing reports from over the weekend that the continent's largest nuclear power plant has found itself being hit by rockets and artillery fire in the middle of that active war zone. Now, of course, the Ukrainians are pointing the finger at the Russians are pointing the finger at the Ukrainians, but certainly what Kyiv is calling for, as you say, is more sanctions now against Russia and in particular its nuclear industry. Now, that will be problematic. That is because Russia's main nuclear body is in partnership with several European countries building nuclear power plants here. Specifically, Rosatom is building plants in Hungary, and also France's EDF works with Rosatom on the nuclear fuel manufacturing side of things. So there is a relationship there, but I think right now, while those discussions and sanctions are happening, I think the bigger picture is here that we have had a nuclear facility damaged over the weekend in this war, and of course that could have devastating consequences, not just for Ukraine, but for Europe as a whole.